And we're live. All right, guys, what's up? Happy 4th of July, upcoming weekend. It's been an amazing last couple of weeks for Agent Attraction, and you guys have been absolutely freaking killing it. Appreciate all you're doing, and thanks for helping the team out. Most of you on this call have been helping me this week, and I super appreciate that. So this is our weekly Agent Attraction call every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I want to make sure you guys understand or know. Yesterday we did Agent Attraction Training 2 that you should share with your teams. It's in EXP Pros and on my YouTube channel that I did with Sam Rodriguez. I got a lot of calls from people I didn't know saying, wow, man, that was game changer. Thank you so much. And sometimes it takes a few other people to say something like that for you to go, huh, okay, good. And so I go back and listen to it. I'm like, yeah, knock that out of the park. All right. So let's get down to business. There was a couple things I wanted to talk about today that came up in yesterday's training that I think is very beneficial for everybody, and especially kind of the newer agents. And I think it was Blake from Minneapolis asked me, and he goes, hey, man, he goes, I got a new agent with me, new to the industry, not just new to EXP. And he says he doesn't know a lot of people, but he really wants to work on agent attraction. So as a group, what I kind of wanted to do was just talk about the different things. And what I said was, get heavily involved in network groups, like, your real estate local network groups. And if you guys don't have local network groups, like we have SCV Pros here, we have SCV Network Group, a couple other network groups where agents just get together every week and they talk about their upcoming listings and what's going on in the industry. And they usually have it at somebody's house. They buy lunch. It's a really cool gig. So if you don't have that in your neighborhood, start one. But also for newer agents, join the ARIA, the NAREP, Women's Council of Realtors, the Gay and Lesbian Group, all that other stuff that is where you're going to be around other agents. Do classes and do networking groups at your board of realtors. And
Mike, how's the gay and lesbian one working out for you?
I'm not part of it. We don't have one in my town, but most people do. And it's really beneficial. And I guess they're fun. I guess they have some really amazing parties all over the country. Also, there's some military network groups. There's all kinds of stuff like that. And those network groups are where you're going to meet people. The Board of Realtors has classes all the time. They have contracts, classes, whatever you can do to get in person in front of people. But most importantly, the king of all of that is your lunch and learn, right? Somehow, some way, Brent Gove stopped beating it into our heads that we need to have lunch and learns. But if you're a team leader or if you're a newer agent, lunch and learns are really cool. And I was talking to somebody yesterday and they said, well, what if only one person shows up? Or what if nobody shows up? It doesn't matter. What you're doing is you're having an excuse to call people, an excuse to Facebook message people, email people, and everybody else around watching doesn't need to know that one person showed up or nobody showed up. All they need to see is there's consistency, so next week they can show up. Now, I've been trying to do this for so long, and I finally have a couple people on the team that are getting good enough to present. My biggest problem is I travel so much that I can't be consistent. So now that I have some fill-in people, we're going to actually finally get to do that. So can you imagine if you filled your week with stopping by open houses, being part of massive Facebook groups, doing all that stuff? You're going to be around agents no matter what you do. And even the nonprofits and the charities in your town are loaded with agents. They're just packed, right? I remember I went to my first chamber mixer and I'm all, this is a real estate mixer. What the hell am I doing here? I couldn't believe how many realtors were at the chamber mixer. And that's a whole nother class, but it's not that hard to get in front of people. Can you guys come up with any other ideas to add to that list? And hopefully you guys are taking notes and will share that with me later because I completely forgot to take notes on that.
I'd say broker open houses and broker home tours.
Yeah, caravans. What a great time to have a couple glasses of wine and get to know some people, not be a cheese ball about it. But the biggest script that I'm using right now that really is working, especially, and this is another one to add to the list, when you call agents that you have transactions with, or if you're calling to see if the property's available, and I would just be like, let's just role play it, Marlo. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Marlo, it's Bjorkman. How are you, man?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Good, dude. I'm calling on Cherry Street, man. Is that still available?
It is, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Any offers?
We got one low ball, but they didn't take it, so it's still
Okay,
available.
cool. All right, awesome. I'm trying to arrange a showing, but I might have to preview it first. Is there any issues with that?
No, that's cool.
All right, cool. How's everything going for you, man? It's been a while.
It's been good. Super busy,
I know, man. I
Everybody came
know.
out of woodwork after COVID.
Exactly. And one of the things we're going to do pretty soon, and hopefully you'll be interested, we're going to start a network group of agents that we can meet, maybe once a week or once every other week. Would you be interested in doing that?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Awesome. Cool. I'm going to add you to the list, dude. Hey, listen, I've always had respect for you and we've always gotten along. Has anybody ever really truly sat you down and showed you the EXP platform? I feel like you'd be such a good fit.
I know a little bit about it, but I haven't sat down with anybody, no.
Right. And, before I joined, most of what I heard was Amway, pyramid scheme, and bad rumors. And then when I saw it, man, I couldn't sleep for days until I was able to join. What if we scheduled a 15, 20-minute Zoom and I can explain it to you a little bit? Would that be cool?
I'd be open to hearing about it, but I'm not leaving, man. I got a good gig here.
And that's so cool. And I can appreciate that more than anything. And what I do know about you is you're super business minded. And if anything else, you're going to learn the tools, the technology, and the arsenal that the EXP agents have in their bags. So if you do compete against them at a listing, you know exactly what you're going up against. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Cool. And if anything else, it'll dispel the rumors and you know exactly why we're the fastest growing company. How about Monday or maybe Tuesday?
Mondays are crazy. Let's go with Tuesday.
All right, cool. I'm available at 2, or would 3 be better?
2's good.
All right, cool. So that's pretty easy, right? And you can, and if you don't know the person, you could just say, hey, looks like you got a good listing and the same thing. Maybe you'd be a good fit for our company. Has anybody sat you down and showed you? But the biggest regret I ever had was my first 6 months at the company. I was still, pretty much in production, and I would forget to ask these people, like my number one thing, right? I could probably have 40 FLQA by now if I would have been smart about that. So what other ideas can we have about getting us around agents? Anything else that you can think of? Good. No, that's totally fine.
Quick question, Mike. When you're talking to an agent, like when you're in your local community and obviously they know you or you know them, it makes it a lot easier to have that conversation. But when you're talking to an agent, let's say and they're in San Francisco or San Jose or something, and you're talking to them and they don't know you and you're having that initial conversation, tell me your angle. How do you work that, Paul?
It's the same exact thing, and actually I just talked to somebody this morning from the Bay Area, as a matter of fact, in San Jose kind of. And I was talking to the guy and I'm like, hey man, tell me what's EXP doing up there? And he's like, oh, I see some signs around. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's going to explode. If it hasn't already, it's going to, because it's really starting to spread throughout Northern California. Has anybody ever showed you the platform? No. That's it. And you go right into the same scripts. You could just say, how's EXP doing out there? It's killing it here. We're growing like crazy. We're hiring 750 to 1,000 agents a week, even through COVID. That's crazy, huh? And then they're like, oh, really? Why? Well, first of all, we didn't skip a beat through COVID. We had 500 employees supporting the agents working at home from the get-go. So when they said work at home, we're like, okay, now what's different, right? And our tools and our technology kept rolling, and the agents were kept joining the company because they realized they needed an environment that they could work from anywhere. They could work more efficient, more effective. And trust me, man, people thought sales were going to go down. So that residual income is a really big difference. And, the more and more people spent time with their family and realized that they really enjoyed some of their time off, all of a sudden, that retirement plan's looking pretty good. How much do you know about it? And they're like, I don't know, crap. All right, well, let's dive in a little more, So it's all basically the same script. It's basically, the same conversation. And if you come from a place of like, where they can see that you really care and you're genuine, it's a big deal. And I especially like, Brent Gove taught me right off the bat, not that I didn't know it before, but he pointed it out. If you boost them up, because who has the biggest the egos in the world? The agents, right? So when Sheila Fairjean called him, she said, you were awesome. I saw you on stage once, and pumped him up. And he's like, all right, well, I can't tell her no now. So I just said, I've always respected your business. Or if I know him, we've always gotten along and you've done a really good job. or it seems like you're just killing it, man. Like, man, you're doing awesome. Or if you see somebody specializing in social media or somebody specializing in virtual open houses or their video, compliment the heck out of them, and then tell them how our company could complement all that and how they could use some of our tools and say, dude, if I had a video like the one you just did on that house, I couldn't wait to build that into my landing page of my KV Core and launch the crud out of that. Has anybody ever showed you how we could build a landing page with a listing in seconds and embed a YouTube video and probably get, 40, 50 leads a week off just doing that for free? No, I've never heard of that. Well, come on, dude, let me show you. And if you're confident and so matter of fact, they're not going to be like, oh, this is salesy. Did anything I just say sound salesy? No, it's like, it's just, when you know, and you're confident and you're like, you need us more than we need you, right? And if you have that attitude, like, it's not a big deal, dude. It's up to you, but I'm killing it. I'm having a good life. I'm living it right now, right? And it's true, right? Whose stock doubled in the last couple of weeks? You tell people that. Like, I was just on the phone with somebody else this morning, and I had the conversation come up. I don't know. Oh, how did COVID treat you? Well, first of all, I got to buy a beach house. That didn't suck. Second of all, I got $150,000 extra sitting in my bank account. And by the way, did you see what EXP stock did? And then they're like, why? I'm like, well, dude, like, we own Verbella. Have you seen it? Have you seen what we can do in the world? Just that conversation is just the same thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter what they're talking about. We have what they want or what they're talking about. So it's really cool. Any other ideas on how to get newer agents or even experienced agents around more real estate agents? Everybody by now should have Market View Broker, right? Where you can download the list and look at their production, and you could upload them into a list into KV Core, and you can invite them to trainings, lunch and learns. I personally like running video, and I upload the Bomb video into KV Core. And then Deanna, my assistant, will send that out. I'm about to do a video right now, actually today, and she'll send that out, and it'll be a Bomb video. So it's like a good mass email program, but at the same time, it's really trackable. I love that stuff, and it doesn't really make sense to do it without a video. But if anything's better than nothing, so that's
I got something that came to mind I haven't tried yet, but I was wondering if anybody has. Here in my market on Facebook, most of the brokerages put like a top 10 list or a top 25 list, and agents will share it like, hey, I'm number 3 or whatever, my brokerage. Have you ever tried reaching out to them or other people on the list and be like, hey, congratulations, man?
That's a huge deal. Huge deal. I would even back that. As a matter of fact, I'm dropping like $1,100. I just ordered some really nice presentation folders and presentations with like gold embossed laser cut business cards and everything. And I would probably follow that up with a handwritten card saying, dude, not too many people can do what you're doing in this market. And, I just totally respect you. How about I'd buy you lunch one day? I'd really love to see what you're doing. And I'd share some of the things that are working for me too. Give me a call. And I'd follow up 3 days later with a phone call. It's getting to the point now where I almost get to focus, let's say maybe 30 or 40% of my day on agent attraction. So I'm going to be able to start implementing those things. So I would say anytime you see anything with an agent that's advertising or being recognized, those books in, like they're the local rags that come out, and the agents advertise in them, like I'm the Scottsdale specialist, whatever. Agents pay thousands of dollars for those ads, a handwritten card or a phone call just to call up and say, hey man, that's a really cool ad. I really love it. How's it working for you? And, and just be very careful when you say this, but, say, have you ever thought of putting maybe a call capture ad, maybe with a call to action in it, for a top 10 list that, the biggest mistakes first-time buyers make, or top 5 mistakes home sellers make, that kind of thing. Well, what we can do with our KV Core is build a landing page and drive that to them, www.5mistakes.com, put the call capture number, and, watch your ad start to work. I wouldn't say all that in that conversation, but I was just trying to tell you that's where I was going with that. So if we can kind of be like, hey, I'd love to collaborate with you, and I got a couple ideas for an ad that to be working around the country, those types of things. But anytime an agent is asking for their own recognition, or even bus benches and, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, let the agents know that you're looking and that you've noticed, just to boost their ego again. I think that's really important. And it's just a way to keep in touch with people and build those relationships. What other ideas can we come up with, guys? All right. So I wanted to talk to you about something else that's working really good. And I briefly touched on it a little bit earlier. So some of you may have noticed that I have that group called the Agent Collective. It's not real big. It might have like 1,200 agents in it or something. But I also have in my area in the San Fernando Valley, the Conejo Valley, the Palmdale area, that's called Antelope Valley. So I did make those groups that you could join them, you know, San Fernando Valley, SFV, real estate professionals. So the agents they have to be an agent to be in. I'm not even letting lenders in. I'm not letting home warranty people in. I don't want it to be a shit show. I just want it to be all realtors, you know, networking and sharing listings and whatnot. So what I do is when I see them post a listing, I'll come up with a way to ask them a question about the listing. Or sometimes they'll post it with like no address and no city, and I'll send them a message saying, hey, that's a really nice listing. What city's that in? Or would you mind adding a price to that? You know, something like that. And I'm communicating with these agents slowly but surely. And then once I start talking to them, if they look like they're pretty good, I'll friend request them right when we're doing that so they know who I am. And then I'll hunt them down on Instagram too. And so with this group, I get to approve who the moderators are. I get to approve what posts there are. I get to approve everything, right? So Deanna and I will say, yeah, that's a good listing in the San Fernando Valley. We'll approve it. But now I have this database of people active in a group. So when I reach out to them, I'll just say, hey, welcome to my group. I'm the moderator. If you ever need anything, you know what I'm saying? So it's just another way to sit behind a desk in your underwear and freaking talk to agents. And, you know, like I don't know who's using City Blast, the appointment setters for us, but it's kind of like the same thing, right? It's just the same conversation. You know, I'm looking to build my team. You know, do you know anybody? Are you considering, you know, joining a team yourself? And they go, no, you know, a lot of times, because I'm going after bigger and better agents now. And like I hired one yesterday, and he's really active in the group. But let me go back to the story, and I'll just say, yeah, you know, I also do a lot of business development for EXP. Have you heard of our company? And business development, for some reason, is a professional thing that you see on business cards. I think Kevin Cottrell, even on his business card, said regional business development for EXP. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? He goes, I don't know. I just put it on my business card. It looks good. It sounds good. And it works. So I'm like, all right. So I started using that. But I do a lot of business development for EXP. Have you heard of it? Has anybody sat you down? The same exact script. So if you don't have those groups in your area, it's a gold mine to start adding to those. I know Michael Henry, how's your group going, man? Can you come off mute and tell me how many people are in your group now?
Yeah, I have 6 in the group.
No, in your Facebook group.
Oh, in the Facebook group. We're up to, I think, about just short of 500.
Okay, so that's 500 local agents.
Yeah, local
gold mine. So if we know that 40 agents will make us over $1 million a year, and you have 500, which is, what is that, 1%, 50 or 10% out of 500? I mean, that's a pretty good start, right? And so if you started to invite those people to in-person network groups and trainings and stuff, that could really turn into something powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also tell the agents in private messages, hey, will you add some more agents to this group? It's really becoming beneficial for upcoming listings and pocket listings and stuff. And I don't want to get into the discussion about we're not allowed to do that crap. I don't care if you guys know me. I'm gonna ask for permission, guy. I'm not gonna not promote an upcoming listing because I'm afraid to put it in a Facebook group. So that's something that I think if everybody spent a little bit more time on, and if it's oversaturated in your area, that's okay too. There's all kinds of other groups you can start. Like I'm expanding my business to Ventura, California right now. And I looked at the groups in Ventura and they all suck. Like, so Ventura in search of group, it's like in search of crap for sale. It's like this big mixture, and it's a bunch of hoopla, and it's a bunch of the same person putting the same post in 50 times. So I'm going to come into this town create a new Ventura in search of, keep it clean, keep it really valuable, and blow it up, right? And then I'm going to do a Ventura rental site because theirs sucks. So I'm going to build all these groups and be able to take over slowly but surely, and then, you know, get the real estate agents involved in the rental groups and stuff like that and talk to them. As much as we can do from our desk, wherever that desk is, if I go to Florida, because I'm going to buy a house in Florida, if I go there for 6 months out of the year, I can still conduct business in my town online that way. So it's really important to me that I'm building everything to be anywhere I want. So what else, guys? What else? What other? I'm sure those things get juices flowing in your minds. What else has come up lately that you guys can say, hey, I want to try this, or maybe we should try this, or has anybody tried this?
Mike, I got some newer agents on the phone. They're new to real estate on the Zoom call, and obviously they're new to EXP. So, you know, they're a little bit, let's use the word scared, or don't feel confident is probably a better word, to talk to somebody about EXP. And in my heart, and for those who've read the Building an Empire, the book or the audio book, it says, you know, that we should start right away. Even Brent Gove, and it says, you know, here's your action plan from day one. But they don't feel confident because, number one, they don't know real estate that well. They're learning, and they're also trying to navigate and learn the EXP model. How, or what would you say to them to help them get over that hurdle and say, here's what you do on that? I know you're not an expert yet on EXP, nor am I, nor you. I'm not, you know, and I'm still doing real estate for 30 years, and I'm still learning things every day. What do you say to them?
So it's very simple. Like Jonathan Coller's on this call. He's on my team. And I tell him, look, make sure you are very confident in yourself. Like, you have to love yourself, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to be super confident to be able to make those calls or those introductions. And there's only a couple things that create true confidence. The very most important thing is your skill set, right? Minimum of an hour a day, we should be practicing our skill set. Now, we have mikesvids.com. There's a bunch of videos on there, but brentgoveresources.com. You have Rob Flick's 90 Minute. You have Gene Fredericks. You have mine. You have Jay Kinder's. You have Brent Gove's. You have all these videos, and then YouTube is full of amazing content. I also would recommend go through Brent Gove's YouTube channel and pick apart every single speaker that's up on the stage, because they have amazing crap that flies out of their mouth. So if you know, without a shadow of a doubt, you understand the company really well, and it might take a couple of weeks to truly understand and dive deep with every single aspect of the company, but once you know it, you know it. If not, if you don't know everything, you know enough, plenty to be dangerous. Like, I probably know 75% about our company. There's probably 25% I have no clue. But I know enough to be dangerous. I know it's the best move for anybody in the world. And then the second thing is, well, here's the reality. You can call 20 homeowners, or you can call 20 agents. In my opinion, it's easier to call 20 agents than it is 20 homeowners. It just is for me. I don't know. But if it's scary to call a real estate agent that is never going to buy or sell a home with you, who gives a shit? You know, after you call 10, 20, 30 people, it gets a lot easier. Things flow out of your mouth better. Your skill set every day gets better and better. And if they're brand new in the business, Don, you're a badass, right? And you just say, hey, you know, this is Joe. I'm on the Maori team. And, you know, we were talking, and Don thought you might be a good fit for our company. Has anybody ever showed you the platform? And then if they say, no, I'd love to talk to Don, say, here you go. You're done. You know, until they get comfortable with it. And that's really what has to happen. But after making 20 or 30 calls, you're not afraid anymore. It's like, I remember when I was 14 years old, I faked a work permit. I went to Wendy's Burgers to work. I was going to flip burgers. And I remember walking into that place terrified, like, holy crap. And I'd mowed lawns and I worked at the swap meets and stuff, but I never had a real job like that where you clock in, and oh my God, I was so scared. But 2 weeks later, I'm double spatulas, flipping, hucking loogies and fries, freaking, dating the chicks that work there. Like I'm at the register, and I was running the show. But I remember how scared I was, or the first time I did an open house. Those are the things that you need to remember. After a couple weeks of this, it's gonna be fine. But if you F up your skill set, and if you don't practice your skill set, your self-help and you're committed to your prospecting for 2 hours a day, you're never gonna make it. That's just it. You just have to follow the schedule, believe in yourself, and really start kicking ass. Because everybody in their market has an agent that's a complete ding dong, right? You can shut your eyes, you go, how in the hell, first of all, how'd that ding dong get a real estate license? And why do they always have more listings than me? You know why? Because they call 10 times more people than you. Most people think they're complete morons and hang up on them. But even the people with the worst skill set, but willing to pick up the phone and make the calls, will eventually have more business than you, right? So if you could picture that person and go, if that person can do it, anybody can do it, right? So if you have that attitude, you're like, okay, well, and I look around our company now, and I don't want to be a jerk, but I look at people with more agents than me, I go, I don't know how you did it. And in the beginning I would say, oh, it's because they got into the business before me. No, it was harder before me, so I can't use that. And then I sit down and at our conventions and our meetings, I pull them aside and I say, dude, how did you get 2,000 agents? Like, talk to me. I'd love to buy you a beer. And I listen and I just go, holy shit, it's no different than real estate. The people willing to pick up the phone are the people that are rich. And the people that understand the fortunes and the follow-up, they're going to be rich. So that's just it. The ability to pick up the phone and just do it. Or pick up the phone means just get around agents. Does that answer your question, Don? Does that make sense?
Yeah, let me unmute myself. Yeah, so yes, and I try to explain to the newer agents too. I'm like, all you have to do is be excited about EXP. And you don't have to tell them, just invite them to one of our agent attraction calls that we host every week at Thursday at 4 p.m. Just say, oh my God, have you heard about EXP? Have you seen the model? It's so amazing. I'm so excited. Are you available at 4 o'clock for a quick call, a Zoom call? I just want to share it with you. You don't need to really go into the details. I don't want them to go into details. Right. But they feel like they have to know the whole model and explain it when they don't really need to. They just need to make the invitation to it. And then we do the heavy lifting in our group with you and Jesse and Brent Conley, et cetera. So that's kind of how I look at it. So I try to, and it's important, I think, in the first week that they get over that hurdle and make those calls. So I need to do a better job as a leader to sit down with them that week and say, hey, let's sit down and make calls together. You make one, I'll make one, whatever. Let's make them together to get them over that fear. And I think I need to be a better leader at that point.
Right. And with that being said, and I appreciate you saying that, just reminded me of something. In my boot camp class that's pinned to the top of EXP Pros, it has a section on overcoming fear. And I don't want to waste a lot of time on it right now, but if you go back and watch that, it doesn't help just with agent attraction. It helps with your real estate business. It helps with everything. So if you ever have that little bit of fear in your stomach and you just go, oh, watch that little portion of what I did. And I just stole it from somebody else, but it seems to have changed a lot of lives. I know it motivates me every time. We talk a lot about our chicken list, that list of people you should call because they're badasses, but they make you nervous. The broker owners, the top agents, people that you're not sure like you or not. That is the list you're going to call first, because I guarantee you those are the people that join EXP and piss you off to no end because you knew you should have called them. I remember there's some agents that have joined. I had the phone in my hand, put it down because I got a text, never went back. A month later, they joined the company. I'm like, that one phone call could have been the difference between making 20 grand a month or 50 grand a month, and it's just that one person that could change your entire life or your entire career. So yeah. And Don, as a good leader, you will do that. You have a beautiful office. You have plenty of room for lunch and learns. You have everything at your fingertips. So yeah, just like we have call nights, you might want to have call hour, every Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. everybody, we're going to do 20 push-ups, and then we're going to, call for 45 minutes, 5 agents at least. And then it just gets easier and easier. You do that every week. You might want to give them, like, anybody who does it successfully, here's a $10 Starbucks card, and just kind of make fun with it with your crew and your team, and until it just becomes habit. I don't realize right now how much I do, how much I reach out to people. And I was thinking about it yesterday when I was talking to Sam. I'm like, man, I'm actually talking to 10, 15 agents at least a day now. And I don't even realize I'm doing it. I just reach out, or I return a phone call, but I'm having these conversations. And if I know the fortunes in the follow-up, and that's where my weak point is the follow-up, because I'm talking to so many people that they should be going bam, 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 right in a database so I can remember who I talked to. I just went through my City Blast list this morning laying in bed, and I'm like, one of the things I do, I'll give you a little tip on some of my successes. If I don't hit a certain goal or do what I say I'm going to do, I punish myself. And this week I said I need to go through that list and text every one of those people and follow up with them, and I didn't do it. So I was like, Mike, you have to text at least half of these people before you go to San Diego and party your brains out for 4 days, because you haven't deserved your vacation. Not to mention, you just got off a vacation 3 days ago. But I'm like, oh my gosh, my schedule's full. So I'm going to punish myself and, call every single one in the end of next week for 2 days. But those are the types of conversations you need to have with yourself. And those are the kind of commitments you need to make with yourself, even if they're micro commitments, like our good friend John Cheplek says. That's a big deal. And that's another thing, Don, and whoever's listening, John Cheplek is the master, and he's got that podcast. There's not a whole lot on it. Like, there might be 25 episodes, but I've listened to each one of them 3 times. And when we talk about micro commitments with your team, I think that's something that you want to drill really deep on, because that's actually changed me too. Like, I don't think in such huge numbers anymore. I've now committed to micro commitments, and me running 4 different companies, I have to do that. Like, I can only do so much before I hire somebody to do it. But I would highly recommend that you all listen to his podcast and reach out to him and send him Facebook messages and say, dude, that's an incredible podcast. Will you please do some more? Help me out, because I really like listening to him. All right, so we're through whenever you guys want to be through. What else do you guys want to cover today? Let's do some Q&A and try to get this thing flying.
So, Mike, one thing that I've done that has really kind of opened up some dialogue for me is, like, all these groups, like, Lab Coat Agents has a referral group, Club Wealth has a referral group, like all these referral groups. One thing that I've started doing is, like, so somebody posts something, I need an agent in Albuquerque. And, like, within 20 minutes, there's 100 comments of all these different agents. And so what I've done is, like, I'll start reaching out to a couple who, like, if they've been tagged by 4, 5, 6 different people, I'll reach out to them and just be like, hey, my name is Eric. I'm an agent in Phoenix. I just realized I don't have a trusted referral partner in insert city, in Albuquerque, in wherever. Would you mind, taking a couple minutes so I could learn a little bit more about your business to see if you'd be a good fit? And then they're always open to have that conversation. And so you can get them on the phone, and through general curiosity, asking about their business, you can ask those dialogue enticing questions to learn, where they're at. A lot of times they could tell you some frustrations that they have or whatever, and it really opens up the opportunity to have the EXP conversation. And there's no shortage of people that are posting on those groups every single day looking for referrals. So that's a great way to be able to engage with agents outside of your market that you don't know.
Exactly. And that's so cool. And dude, honestly, that what you just said completely reminded me. I wanted to talk about that. Those Facebook groups, Lab Coat, Club Wealth in particular, and Real Closers, I sometimes scan those things for 10, 20 minutes, and I'll go down and I'll see if people are asking questions that I might have the end of that superpower for. Like, hey, I'm looking for blank. And if I know where blank is, or if I know blank, or if I know who knows blank, I'll reach out and I'll send a private message and say, hey, listen, because I know a lot of people, I don't want to offend anybody else, but this is who, or this is what, or this is what I heard. And then I'll start engaging in those private messages. And if I think about it, there's probably 3 of my 15 big deal FLQAs that are actually from that, right?
Oh, wow.
Sandy from Iowa, which we now have like 100 agents there. I think that was a Facebook conversation like that. And there's a couple other, and actually the guy I hired yesterday, which is a big agent, you know, doing 25 deals a year. It's an icon agent. You know, we started talking in my Facebook group. So it's I would definitely make sure you use those groups, because, you know, let's face it, out of my 800 almost agents in our organization, they're scattered all over the country. And what I like about real estate and REO and all the stuff that I do, property management, I like to be very diversified, right? So when COVID hit, I was like, oh crap, they just shut LA down, but they didn't shut half the other country down. So the worst paycheck move I got, actually the first month of COVID, after it started and we got paid, was my best month ever. Luckily the buffer went down. I think that helped too. But then the second month, it only went down $1,000. And then the next month only went down $1,000. I don't know if you guys have checked your revenue share today, but I'm already making more this month, 8 days in or whatever, than I made last month. So, and I know the reason is because we have Florida, we have Iowa, we have Philadelphia, we have Phoenix, we have Seattle, we have all over California and scattered all over the country. So you can't.
What did you make? How much did you make last month?
19,000, and that's at 22 today.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
Congrats.
thanks. And it should, based on the numbers, like it should go to at least 25, 26 grand at least.
Well, I'm happy for you, and then I'm pissed off.
Well, dude, think about what I just said. I have 17 FLQAs now today.
Well, you invited me back, back in 2018, and I was like, too prideful with my own company. So I'm like, oh no, it's not for me. And I'm like, damn it. Oh well.
Yeah, no, and trust me, like that's we all have that in our stomachs. Like, poor Jesse, like Jesse Zagorski. He says it's like my favorite thing to listen to. He always says, my biggest regret in life is not joining when David Gold told me to. So then Brent Conley joined, right? And then he joined under Brent, and so he had a slower start. But it's just a shoulda, woulda, coulda. But basically what it did is it built an awesome team for us, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, I wish I would have joined a couple of years before too. But, I believe God and the real estate gods, they put everybody in their spot for a reason, and we all have the same opportunity. And it just gets easier and easier to recruit nowadays, because the biggest and the best teams are at our company. And it's one of, if not the most respected company on the planet, as far as I'm concerned now. When people joke about our company now online, they say, just joking. Before they weren't joking. Right now they're just making little digs to see if they can still, like, I almost feel like people are testing themselves, like that stupid post last week about social distancing and the EXP asking about your retirement plan. So I mean, all of them said, just joking. I think they're just testing the waters, because I believe their curiosity is so high they want to see what the reaction is now. And the reaction was very little. A bunch of likes, very few people had the nerve to comment on it. And then every time they'd commented on it, I'd say, that's hilarious. You know what? Yeah, call me a jerk for wanting to care about your retirement. I go, and then whoever's the meanest, I would hit reply and I'd say, hey, do me a favor. Do you want to publicly compare paychecks and retirement accounts? Not one of those assholes said, okay, let's do it. So it was pretty kind of fun to play that game, and people are doing it less and less and less. And I just went on a rant. Sorry about that. All right, what else do you guys want to cover real quick? So Deb, Monday, get on the Zoom, aafaststart.com, aafaststart.com, because I don't understand what your question is. She's on live. We're live, you guys, in case you don't know. So there's a couple questions on there. What else do you guys want to go over? Can I hear about some of your successes? Can we motivate each other a little bit? Like, who hired an agent this week? Who hired a capper? or who capped, or who hit icon this week? Who did something cool? Oh, there's Megan. I know you're a badass. You've had an amazing.
Over here painting. We capped yesterday.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Everybody give Megan a round of applause. She's got her new office. She just capped. She's kicking ass.
And we have, is it 11 now? 11 pending. So
Because you closed 2 this morning. Yeah.
We should be icon by September.
Girl, I'm so proud of you. So who else has some successes like that? Let's hear it. Bye. Nobody has success? You all suck? Like, really? Come on, Henry. What you got?
We got a new agent joining our team.
Good.
2 more that are onboarding, and I think we've got 20 deals pending. So
That's amazing.
That icon award.
The 20 deals to 25 deals is the magic number. Just if you guys are newer in the industry listening to this podcast later, that is the number of a successful team. In Southern California, that equates to close to 250 transactions a year, and that'll put about net probably close to 1.35 million in your pocket in Southern California. And that's about what we need to really live a good lifestyle and do the things we want to do. So congratulations, Henry. That is friggin' awesome. And I know price ranges are different there, but you know, the cost of living's a little different too, you know, so it's all relative. But congratulations, man. That's freaking amazing.
Thanks.
What else we got going on?
So I had a guy I recruited for a long time, really big recruit. This guy named Craig Chastain.
Yes.
Finally signed up.
Yes.
And
He's
I'm
on the
super
call.
excited. super excited as part of our group. In 6 months, I look at our stock, and in 6 months, I have $25,000 in EXP stock. And I just can't believe it. And I tell everybody when I wake up in the morning, I used to always go to like either Facebook or go look at my stock market. And that was the first thing I ever ran to. Now the first thing I run to every morning is EXP Enterprise to look at, number one, you know, how many people joined. Number two, you know, what's the stock at? And so it's my new, like, I just wake up and I'm so excited to go check it out.
Yeah, and I'll recommend you guys keep an eye on that because be honest, I never look at it. I just go, someday it'll be big and wonderful. So Don and I were on a call maybe last week or the week before, something like that. And he showed me how to log into my ShareWorks program, which I never did before. And I noticed something was very wrong because it said I think it was $55,000 in stock. We went into my other one. It said I had 55,000 and the numbers were wrong. Well, lo and behold, it was off $150,000 that I had to clean up and merge accounts and stuff like that. So it had been 2 or 3 weeks ago. And when the stock doubled, I was like, you know, I didn't really think too much of it, but I just went, holy crap, I have almost $500,000 in the bank right now. Like, stupid. And I just think, like, dude, like, if that triples and quadruples and I stay at the company and keep doing this, I might be like some of our parents and grandparents, remember, that got into Boeing and Coca-Cola and Ford and invested in really good stocks, or Apple, you know, all those stories you hear. We're going to be those people, I think. I really do believe it. So if you guys aren't doing the Agent Equity program, I highly recommend it. I've been super happy. My financial planner said, if you're not making 10% the day you close escrow on your money, you're stupid. Do it. Because I was like, I don't know if I really care about the stock, but it adds up quick. And the money you're saving from being at this company compared to your last company, it's worth it because you don't feel the difference, right? It's not affecting you. It's just building your empire is all it's doing, which I love. Am I in trouble? Brent Go was texting me. Rob, the SS Bjorkman. Rob heard me say that. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You never know who's listening to crap, you guys. So anyways, what else? Any other successes?
I'll jump in here, Mike. You know, we've been here 6 months, and so far we've closed 121 deals. And for us, that's really good here in Arizona. So that's 30 million in production so far. So we're up to 41 agents in 6 months. So it was funny. I was having a conversation with Eric, and this morning he was in my office, even though he skated out and I see he's at home now. But we were just talking, and I was like, the biggest thing that excites me is our stock. It's not the revenue share, at least not yet anyway for us, but I look at that stock and I'm like, holy crap, why aren't more people taking advantage of this? Because it just blows my mind. So
Yeah, it's a really big deal. I'm getting blasted by Gove over here. All right, so all right, so let's kind of put a bow on this, and here's kind of what I want to challenge you guys to do, because I'm challenging myself.
Wow.
It's real. Hello, who's that? Hello. Anyway, so here's what I like to challenge you guys to do. And if you haven't watched my boot camp video, watch it, learn about the chicken list, learn about getting over some fear, and let's go after some big agents this week. Because David Golden says it best, and Gene Frederick and Rob Flick, it only takes one agent to change your life and your career. If we just go after somebody, one of the top 5 in your entire board, and get them on the phone with me, get them on the phone with Frederick or Gove or Sam Rodriguez or Chris Bear, or somebody cool in our company that works on attraction, maybe, just maybe, if you call those people, remember, the bigger they are, the harder they fall in love with our company, because they have more problems, they have more exposure, they have more liability, they want to save money, they want to offer their team better stuff. Like, if you guys don't know what the mega agent plan is, look into it. Because when you can offer a $4,000 cap to agents, that's a big deal. You want to talk about recruiting? Holy shit. Like, get on some of that. So I think next week when we talk, I'd love to hear, what happened when you guys call some of those really big agents, and I'll lay it straight out. I'll call some of the biggest agents in the country, and I'll try to record them. And I'll let you guys listen and see how it goes, because I'm done playing around. I have access to the top 150 list at our company, and you guys wouldn't believe the numbers on this list. And I want to be up there. And I'm sure you guys, if you're taking time out of your precious day on the last day before a holiday weekend, or at least for me, I think it shows that you guys care. But we're not going to get there by just practicing. We got to actually pick up the phone and make the calls. And I think that next week's call would be hilarious to go over and say and watch. Hey, I just hired the top 10 agent in the state. I just hired one of the top agents in the country. I have a meeting with a team of 50 people. That kind of thing. So does that sound good? Do you guys think we could do that?
Yes, I love it. Love it.
All right. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Anything else before we leave, guys? I want to go to the beach. I love you guys, but I want a margarita and stick my feet in the sand.
Happy 4th.
All right. Love you guys. Call me if you need me. I'm always here to talk to all your people, whatever you need, all that good stuff. And don't forget to be active in our group. And don't forget the Agent Mechanics Coaching Group. It's changing lives. It's blowing up people's career. Click on Agent Mechanics Coaching and go and listen to last week's. Whoa, that KV Core one was awesome. All right. Bye, guys.
Yeah.